All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. How does it look, or how does it sound? Or how does it sound, and how does it look? Whatever. Oh, all right, guys. So I have to, I guess, mention something. With everything going on, I've been doing a lot of research, my own research. So if I get anything wrong, please let me know in the comments section. If it's grossly wrong, email me directly at angrytruth77 at gmail.com. Um, I don't want to be one of those channels. And I caught myself, thinking, not thinking, but saying to myself, I want to fucking research everything so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. But you know what? That's wrong. Um, because a lot of this stuff is new to me, I might as well just come clean and not act like some channels out there that act like they knew this shit all along. That being said, guys, this topic here with the whole oil crisis, not oil crisis, but the gas issue is definitely a crisis here in the United States. That's without a doubt. The rise in prices of gas, guys, is insane. Somebody said that theirs reached $7 or $6.99. I think it was out west in California. I'm like, that's fucking insane. Oh, that being said, guys, uh, this is a definite problem. So, with that, guys, doing your own research goes a long way. But doing your own research also, you can also get it wrong. So, again, if I get anything wrong at any point in time, and Super Chad said wrong, so I got something wrong. Maybe it was my statement. But, just let me know. Bottom line, I have no problems being wrong. And this actually comes from, I had a meeting with my group the other day, and there was an asshole in the group that pretty much, it worked both ways. He made me aware of the warheads that were at a smaller size, so a nuclear attack depends on where they hit. It'll be big. It'll be a big to do, but it won't be as bad as the missile I was looking at. That being said, he taught me a couple of new things, but he went on to make other comments that were wrong. And then after I did my research and figured it out, I was like, this guy was still fucking wrong about this. So I ripped into him. Bottom line is, guys, if I'm wrong, just let me know. Simple. I don't have a problem being wrong because you can't be right all the time. I wish I could be right all the time. No, I don't wish I was right. It's always good to be wrong because if you're wrong, you learn something new. If you accept it, if you accept being wrong, most people don't. Super Chat said, I'm just testing the system. Okay. But anyway, let's move along. So, guys, this whole this whole thing with Russia is absolutely getting out of hand. Um, Companies left and right, man, are dropping business with Russia, and it's looking pretty bad. So the U.S. is banning Russian oil. At first, I was like, all right, this is a big deal. So this is me going back and forth. This gets a little interesting. So I'm going back and forth. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna fucking jack up the prices of gasoline. And then my buddy from the firehouse, I post something on Instagram. He's like, it's only 20 to it's only 25 or 20% of the gas or the oil barrels of oil from Russia comes from Russia. And I go, really? I go, well, that's still a lot of fucking oil. 25% of our imports. That's a lot. So I do my own, again, I do my own research, and I find out it's more like 6 to 8% of barrels are imported from Russia. So 6 to 8, roughly. Most of our oil comes from Canada at 52%, and Mexico running, I said earlier, I think I said 7%. Mexico is actually 10%. Saudi Arabia is 5%. Colombia is 2.5%. Ecuador is 2%. Iraq is 2%. Brazil is 1%. And all other countries are 19%. So that's the amount of oil, barrels of oil we get in from these countries. Sorry. Now, other OPEC countries are at 11%. So, guys, Russia, you look at it at a glance, you're like, oh man, it's just 6%. It can't be that bad. How bad is that? Well, come to find out, the oil that Russia sends us are used for refineries here in the United States. U.S. refineries were designed long ago to use heavier grade crude oil with higher levels of sulfur. We didn't have enough of that kind of oil here, so we had to get it from Russia, and I think there's another country I can't remember off the top of my head. So, being that we need that oil to run our refineries because we didn't have the wherewithal to use the, I guess, grade of crude oil we were producing here in the United States, we have to get it from Russia. Now, if we're not getting it from Russia, that's why I think Biden made the deal with Venezuela, because Venezuela might have the same heavier grade crude oil. That makes sense. If Venezuela was to tell us to go fuck ourselves, then we would have a real problem because now we can't produce our own oil, and that would absolutely bite into our oil production and jack the prices up on our gas. Granted, we are still getting it from other places. We're not getting that crude oil from Russia. And supposedly, that's the only place there in Venezuela, and I want to say Brazil might be the only places we can get that heavier crude oil from, or that has higher sulfur in it, rather, sorry. So I didn't know that sulfur was a factor, but it is. So we might be seeing hikes in everything, guys, because if gas prices continue to skyrocket, especially because of this issue, we're going to see a higher prices in food, fuel, we're seeing it now, clothing, electronics, and delivery fees. So if you order from Grubhub or Domino's, you're going to see a spike in delivery fees. How does this affect preppers? Well, this also damages the economy even more. The economy has been on some fucking roller coaster ride this week. It tanked yesterday. Was it yesterday? And then it went back up today. I don't know if it went down later, but early this morning it went back up a couple of percent. But I don't know how far it dropped. Oh, points, not percent, points. Sorry. Guys, this is just another headache that we didn't need. And yes, yes, we can blame Biden. We can blame Kamala Harris. We can blame a lot of people. But we can blame this on him. But guys, at this point, blaming them is not going to make this situation better. Listen, I like those stickers that say I did this, and those are funny. But it doesn't matter anymore because blaming him won't change anything. It won't drop the prices in gas. It won't drop the prices in anything, guys. That's the problem. Teddy B, I could talk more. I could do more live streams on practical survival, especially like in the city and stuff like that. And thank you for your service, by the way. But I could talk about more on a live stream as well. Get back to more of that kind of stuff. Because listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, this Russia-Ukraine shit's getting old. Waiting for the nuclear bomb to drop is getting old. Watching all these sanctions and all these companies pull out away from Russia is only going to infuriate them. So again, guys, it doesn't. We got to start focusing back on what's going to help us through whatever might happen, and it's a might. It's on the table, guys, but it's a might, right? Again, as much as I want to throw a brick at Kamala Harris's head, it won't change the fucking situation we're in. And Manfred made a good point, guys. Get books, because if whatever happens and the internet goes down, we can't get your knowledge of whatever you want to get on the internet anymore, whatever it is. God damn. Oh yeah. So today, Manfred, thank you. Speaking of books, I got this today. Now, I didn't know, guys, that this book was a fucking thesaurus. Like, seriously. I didn't know it was that thick. I was told to get this book a long time ago, and I was like, yeah. And then I said, I finally got the book. Survival medicine book. I should have shown this on the Prepper channel, not this channel, but whatever. This is a good book to get, guys. It's super thick, but it's a ton of knowledge in here. A ton of knowledge. This is what Manfred's talking about. You get a book like this, and you make sure you have it on deck. You get the book called Back to Basics, and you make sure you have it on deck. If you look at my library, if you were ever to come over, but if I was ever to show you my library, I have a lot of shit there, guys. I have shit on how to identify uh, mushrooms. I have how to identify reptiles. That was from the Boy Scout days. Uh, you should have a plethora of books on how to identify. Now, Manfred made a good point, but you can't carry all these books with you if you have to bug out. So you can definitely back these books up on something like a Kindle device. Now, if that Kindle device breaks, you are absolutely fucked. But if it doesn't break and you protect it and you protect it like you would anything else, you can have that Kindle for many, many years until you soak in all that information into your head. Um, that's one way because I can't see myself carrying 8 of these when I'm bugging out. Now, a lot of this shit, guys, you'll read through it, you'll go, okay. Listen, a lot of this stuff you read through, you'll remember it. You'll memorize it. You'll be like, oh man, I fucking, um, I remember how to do this, I remember how to do that. When I was an EMT, for all of that shit on how to stop bleeding, bullet holes, knife wounds, things like that, you soak that in. You remember those things. Life saving techniques, guys, you can remember a lot easier than trying to remember somebody's name or phone number. Right? When somebody's life depends on it, you're going to remember how to do it the one time you do it. And you'll never forget. Unless you come down with Alzheimer's. Ukraine Molotov cocktail. Right. I mean, listen, like you learn how to make a Molotov cocktail, you'll never forget how to make that thing. Right? It's just, there's a lot of things, guys, you'll never forget. Yes, the book of Eli, Dan K. I was thinking of that when I was talking about that. How he memorized the entire Bible from beginning to end. That was impressive. That must have been, and now that I think, when you look at the Bible and you think to yourself, okay, this man read this book and memorized every verse throughout the book. That's impressive shit. There's one book that describes all of it. Yeah, man, free. So and hopefully that's the book you were talking about. Listen, guys, there's a lot of books out there. This book was one of the books that were brought to my attention. There's also one called Failure of Civility. I got that book years ago. I have actually two copies over here. Those are good books too. And then the Strategic Relocation book. That's another good book to have in your repertoire of books or library rather. Sorry. Um, yeah, guys. With everything going on, we should absolutely be studying more or reading more, just in case we end up out there, just in case some crazy shit happens. Hell, man, forget a nuclear bomb. What if a fucking rogue meteor that we weren't even watching slams into the planet? And it's a decent size, like the size of a bus or some shit. It could damage some shit. But we should definitely know how to help if we need the help, right? I don't think watching YouTube's going to help. Watching my videos are going to help. My videos now at this point are more ranting. I'm trying to get back to more prepper related videos, but every time I say that, some fucked up shit happening. So maybe I should stop fucking mentioning that and just do it, right? But this week, like the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be heading out and doing some fucking shit in the woods, because first of all, I want to get away from the city, and secondly, I want to get back to those basic videos. A lot of my old videos on my old channel, my old Angry Pepper channel, before it was deleted, I'm going to get back to a lot of those videos, like the breakdown of a bug out bag and all that. I actually started a series on the last channel. I'm going to get back to doing that series because fuck it, why not, right? It'll get us away from all the shit that we're focused on. We're focused on a lot of shit, and sitting here, guys, watching this Ukraine thing unfold, and a lot of us are like, is it going to happen or is it not? Somebody said this week he was going to launch. It didn't happen. Yeah, Chris, I shaved the beard. I know a lot of people are in shock. I was in shock too when I shaved my face. Jimmy the Dickface activate. Exactly. Don't Look Up was a really good movie because it made fun of everybody. Yeah, well, Jervis Horton. I mean, listen, that's the one thing that people didn't realize about the Book of Eli is that he memorized it because he loved the book, right? Obviously, if you love something, you're gonna memorize it, right? And there are a lot of people, there are a lot of believers, man. They'll read the book and they'll remember every verse, word to word. I'm like, shit, man, I can't even remember my last name sometimes, let alone an entire Bible, But it's still something to be said about memorizing a book like that. Any book. Now, any book you read and you memorize it from front to back, it's incredible. Canadian Prepper says every day they're launching. Well, every day his videos now are like, he has a video out and he'll be like, "Oh, guys, I got incredible news. This is really bad." And then you watch it and you're like, "That's not that bad." You know, like, it's just whatever. I get it. I get what the goal is, to warn everybody of things that are going on. I get it. But to put exclamation points after every sentence, did you see that? Putin said, and then he doesn't tell you what it is. You have to click onto it to see what it said. It's like, all right, man. Like, I get it. It you're trying to warn everybody of a lot of shit that's going on, but it can become overbearing at times, right? So I listen. I watch his videos. Some of the things he says, I'm like, oh shit, I better get on top of X, Y, and Z. And then other stuff, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So that's how I am. Again, guys, whatever videos we do, we're trying to give you a heads up. That's all it is. That's how I look at it as. Certain channels, they get carried away. They get heavy-handed, and in other channels, they are a little too brush off the shoulders kind. So there's a balance. And again, if I got too heavy-handed, I would hope you guys called me out on it and be like, "Yo, stupid. It's not that bad." But I didn't get heavy-handed. I look at everything now as, if it happens, we'll handle it accordingly. That's all, guys. That's all we can do. We can't do anything else. We are not going to stop Putin from pushing that button if it comes down to it. We can't do that. Kamala Harris definitely isn't going to stop it. If anything, she's going to aggravate him, and he's going to be like, "Yo, you send this bitch to speak to me? This is a fucking insult," and he's going to push the button. So Kamala Harris and her horse face can absolutely set this whole thing off, because he's going to look at her and go, "How did America pick this lady?" And then he's going to hit the button, right? Dude, there's a million reasons he can hit the button. He can hit the button because he found out we have spam over here. He goes, "They eat what in a can?" He's going to launch the missile. So there's a barrage of reasons. He can launch the missiles. But yes, you guys call it fear porn, fear mongering, whatever it is, guys. And listen, I'm going to make this statement, and maybe some channels will be pissed at me, but whatever. There's money to be made on YouTube. All right, and there are people who are going to exploit the fears and try to get that money made. Listen, I'd rather YouTubers exploit that fear and make money on YouTube. There's enough of us on here who are responsible enough to know what's fear mongering and what's not. Right? There's enough of us to know that, all right, that could be real, so I'll keep it back here and keep my eye on that at the same time. And there's some of us that fall for it. So you got to decide who you want to be. You want to fall for everything that fucking is on YouTube, or you want to fucking sit there and stare at things and go, "I'm not sure yet." Right? Yeah, I like that. Lily B says, "What happens at the angry truth stays at the angry truth." Yeah, listen, guys. I don't have. My patience has been running thin on everything lately, just because of like all that bullshit over there. And then I tuned that out, and then like it's new fucking issues with the gas going up. Now I'm like, I was looking to get a new vehicle, and now that might not be happening, because I'm like, can the car that I want handle the not no sorry can my wallet handle the amount of fucking gas I'm gonna put into this truck? No, especially now that I'm out of work. If I was still working, I'd be like, fuck it. Jules Goldstein says, "Soon the fear porn start." Listen, guys, you have to take things at face value. Yeah, Carol, I noticed that, man. The last video, not the one he released today. He released one yesterday, and he seemed like nervous, and I'm like, all right. I said, dude, if it's gonna happen, then it's gonna happen. Listen, it's all right to be scared. It's all right to be nervous, but I don't know, man. A lot of people look up to Canadian Prepper, so a lot of people look up to him. Shit, I still do. I think he's fucking spot on with a lot of shit he says, but not everything needs exclamation points. It needs to be the end of the world kind of shit. This is bad. We are in bad waters. That's without a doubt. But I don't think everything needs to fucking be a exclamation point. Remember the Seinfeld episode where he was like, "Yo, everything he writes in the book has exclamation points." You know, Rita, the mandates were not lifted for city workers. All right, if that helps. Um, Listen, guys, I don't mind. I don't mind the fear porn. I really don't. Again, it's entertainment. Okay, we watch entertainment for a reason. We watch The Walking Dead for a reason. We watch shitty movies like Sharknado for entertainment. Just watch those channels for entertainment. I am not saying that these guys are bad dudes. I'm not saying that what they're saying is bad. I am saying that they're heavy-handed with their approach, but it's still entertaining. Right today, he said that if you don't get gas masks and all those other bullshit, that you could be asked out by the end of the month. All right, I'll take that into consideration. I'm not gonna run out to the stores today and get a bunch of gas masks. I might be asked out by the end of the week, but such is life, man. You know, right now I don't have money to run and get a whole fucking setup of them. I did look at actually Prepper Tribe put me onto Tyvek suits and cheaper masks, but I don't know if I want to trust my life to cheaper mask and a Tyvek suit, you know? But whatever. If that's all I can afford, that's all I can afford. Well, yes, ignorance is bliss. Carol Cook, exactly. Ignorance is bliss. And the more you know certain things, guys, the less you calm down. For example, uh, the biggest weapon that Russia would launch is by comparison smaller than what I was thinking. I thought he had that Zarbomba in his arsenal, but apparently, upon further research, Zarbomba was a one-off. It was just a ploy to scare America. It was something that it was so big, not even today's modern rockets can carry this thing. That being said, they're using a smaller rocket that has a kiloton of 800, which is, if I'm not mistaken, zero point 0.8, 0.8 megatons, right? But 800 kilotons times 10. So this warhead apparently has 10, uh, this warhead, sorry, missile has 10 warheads at 800 kilotons. That supposedly, once it launches, it can shoot off to 10 different spots. That's a lot. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. Still, guys, that's way less than the kilotons I was looking at with the Zarbomba nuke that what you call it had. So then I entertain the kilotons of what you call it here in New York. It's still a considerable amount of damage. Considerable amount of damage. But again, we can fare better than I thought, you know. And a lot of channels are thinking old school. Moab, social dilemma, Moab. That sounds familiar, but I'm not military, so I don't know what the acronym means. You gotta have a surplus gas mask and a Beretta, 92 Beretta. Well, I don't have the Beretta, but I do have a surplus gas mask. Actually, I do have. Holy shit! I completely forgot it. Thank you for reminding me. I have gas masks in my storage unit. I have two like cheap looking ones in my storage unit that would do the job, and then I have one in my storage unit here. So I have three. I only have to buy one more. Thank you. Moab is a non-nuke. Okay. Thank you, Paladin. Paladin, the mother of all bombs. Okay. Fusion versus. All right, very good. Mother of all bombs. And right, they called the Tsar Bomba the king of all bombs. But again, it wasn't practical too. Plus, they use smaller warheads now because of the guidance of the missiles are more accurate than before. Right, so the accuracy of the old school missiles they would be off by enough. So if you made the bomb bigger, even if it was off by a mile, you would still destroy your target, right? That's why they made them so big. But now accuracies of these weapons are much better, so they don't have to go with bigger nukes. They can go with smaller. Shit, how do you say this one? New Jersey, Taffy, New Jersey, SW Taffy, Swaffy, Swatty. Whatever your name is, sorry. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. There are worse weapons. Listen, Patrick, right? I mean, listen, they have an EMP. They have EMP weapons. Now, granted, the EMP weapons are smaller, so they don't deliver that bang for bucks. But from what I read, guys, from what I read, they have nukes that are designed to act as EMP weapons. If that makes sense. So, meaning this nuke is not designed to actually hit the ground. It's designed to burst in the air, 3 miles above the ground, and rain upon the United States and fuck us. They have a. They said they had a nuke like that, from what I read, from my understanding. And the father of all bombs, is that the Satan one, right? That's the Satan missile. That missile is not as. It's dangerous. It's hard to explain because I'm not a fucking a nuke expert. But again, upon reading it, it wasn't as bad as I thought. New York City would be able to survive. If you go on nuke maps, I told you guys about this before. If you go on nuke maps and you put in 800 kilotons in your area, that's about the biggest bomb that they can use. That's the biggest bomb Russia has right now. And that's the something Satan missile, whatever the fuck they call it. That's what we're dealing with. And that's if he uses that. A lot of people are seemingly thinking that he might go with tactical nukes, which are smaller. Still a lot of devastation, but they're smaller in size. Yeah, Satan bomb. Thank you, Cherokee Survival. Now, you know what would suck? I know who just said that. Lily B. You know what would suck? A nuclear attack followed directly, immediately followed by an EMP. So he peppers us, bing, 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 right? And then he launches a nuke that sets an EMP off that puts us in the dark ages. Not only now are we dealing with nuclear, a nuclear bomb and fallout and things of that nature, now we have no power. That would be, I would guess 99% of us are fucking toast. Toast. And I'm talking about nationwide, not just here in New York City. I know a lot of people like, get out of New York City. Guys, New York City is not even, from what I read, is not even on the third wave attack. First wave and second wave are military installations and bunkers, though a lot of bunkers can withstand nuclear bombs. So, New York City is off the table unless the fourth and fifth wave he wants to send them then. But by then, I should already have been out of the city. But the first, second, and third wave attack are not. NYC is not a primary target in the United States anymore. Matthews, Kitchens. Look it up. I thought so too. I thought so up until recently. I thought so up until about a week ago. I said, oh, we're a primary target. We're not a primary target anymore. Los Angeles is not a primary target anymore. Primary targets are military installations. Secondary targets, military installations and comms installation. Third are, I want to say, bunkers and other military bases like Air Force bases and shit like that. And then maybe fourth and fifth, then maybe New York City, LA, and the rest of the cities. Maybe. But there are a lot of other places for them to hit other than us, right? So, again, we're not primary anymore. We were primary. We're not. Interestingly enough, the UK just learned that London is not a primary target anymore. It's their military installations and it's their black sites. Whatever their black sites have, I don't know what it is, but supposedly they're on the map as well. So, if you live in the city, you are not the first, second, or third strike waves. You are probably fourth and fifth, if they want to go that far. But if they launch everything like in war games, then it don't matter. Four is banking cities. I don't know what that means. Cherokee Survival, I don't know what that means. Yeah, Chris Riggs, exactly. I think Washington State has the most military in the Union. Yeah, again, guys, like I said, I just learned about this recently myself. I was like, no shit, I was a little disappointed that we were taken off the primary target list. But there was a reason for that back in the days, not anymore. And a lot of people are still thinking old school. That shows you our age, for those of us that still think. Well, you know what? It's not even that. Like, all prepper sites now, they keep saying cities and this, that, and the third. That's not the case anymore. It's not even... Okay, I can't say it's not fact. I can't say it is fact. But according to Russia, New York, and even China, we are not primary targets. But we're only going to know what's true and what's not when they launch. That's the bottom line. No more bragging if you get taken off the list. Yeah, a little disappointed I was taken off the list. A little bit, tiny bit. I was like, damn it, man, you fucking shit, But whatever. DS is DS private in here too? It's like I can't get away from this dude. Cities are not targeted, not even DC. Thank you, DS private, for backing me up for a change. The goal is to win the war. Also, the war is to cut off supplies and get civilians killed each other with resources. That, and they also want to hit communications as well. So DS private, that made sense. And that again, that's what I read. That's exactly why they want to go after the military bases first. They're going after the bases first to cut the legs out from under us, and then watch us fucking squirm. That's why they do that. Nomadic times. If they hit a spam factory, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I would thank a million thank yous if they did. Destroy that shit first. Why drop bomb on cities? Falcon 1. Yeah, that's exactly. Listen, when I read that, I was like, holy shit. That makes sense. Why they wouldn't? They go after fucking military first. YouTube is the new Tinder. Ugh. Okay. R. Jones, exactly. Striking New York City or any city for that matter would be for terror. But listen, let's walk it back a little bit. Striking anything in the United States with a nuclear weapon is terrorizing. Doesn't matter if they hit a city or not. If they hit fucking one of those military installation guys, that's terrifying. So Michigan poke. I don't know how many times between waves. I wish I knew that answer, but I said that to myself. I'm like, how many times between each wave? We don't know. It could they launch the first wave, hit the military installations, and then contact the president and be like, yo, you want some more? And he's like, no, fuck you. And then he sends some over, and then we hit there. Now, keep in mind, guys, Russia is a big-ass country, or federation, whatever you want to call it. Huge. Huge. They probably have more launch sites than we do because they have so much more land. Therefore, they can spread out their military bases and stockpiles a lot further. Where we are a smaller country and we have shit in strategic locations that are just going to get hit. So I guess Russia in that aspect wins because they have more land and they could have shit all over Russia that we still might not even know that's there. Even though I think our U.S. intelligence is smart, not stupid, I know that Russia has spies in there as well that report to the United States and vice versa. So everybody knows where everything is. So, Erica, the problem with hitting U.S. nuclear reactors is that now, if they hit a number of reactors here in the United States, you just decimated the United States and made it uninhabitable. Russia and China, or at least China, wants this land. So I don't see them doing that. But with Putin and being the psychopath that he is, anything is possible. Some leaders has been allowed to stop a war in order to ceasefire. I guess the DS private. I guess I don't know. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Taking down internet on March. Gene Blair. That's the rumor that Russia's taking down their internet the 11th. If they are, they're trying to keep communications within their country, right? Other than that, they did. Listen, Russia's very controlling about their communication. Super controlling. They make YouTube's communist Hitler bullshit look like a walk in the park. They are so fucking strict, it's insane. Devotee, China wants the U.S. because look at all the land they own here in the U.S. That's how I know they want the U.S. You don't buy land in a country you're looking to drop bombs on. That doesn't make any sense. They have so much, they own so much land here. They're looking for this land. So they're not going to drop nukes on it and then lose out on their land and lose out on the farmlands that they bought. They bought a lot of shit. And yes, snipes, they're still actively buying land. They're buying it from farmers. So does that make sense that they're buying land, they're paying this money just so that Russia could bomb the shit out of it and now it's unusable? Doesn't make sense, right? So again, the world knows U.S. is weak politically, economically. Matthew Kitchens, yeah, but Russia is weak economically as well. Maybe not politically, but economically they are. People like they are self-sustaining, yeah, but they're self-sustaining, but they're not getting any of how the hell do you say it? They're suffering economically right now. Let's just put it like that. They are self-sustaining, but how's that going to work in the long run for them? Right now, their people are paying the price for all of the shit that's happening. The Apple, the Netflix, and all that bullshit. You know, they're losing out, and the people are suffering. The people are suffering this bullshit too. That's the crazy shit. Putin doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. They are the people of Russia are suffering more, not them more than the Ukrainians, obviously they're not, but they're suffering more. So the politicians who don't give a fuck, they're still going to get their internet. They're still going to do what they're going to do. That's what they do. They make us suffer and they still live the high life, right? Again, if a nuclear war was to break out, where are the politicians, guys? They're hiding. AOC and her big mouth, she'll be hiding in fucking DC somewhere or wherever the fuck they designate her. Not everybody hides in DC, by the way, guys. That is a myth. Some politicians do hide in DC, but they actually hide them throughout the country. If they are close to an area like DC, then they hide them there, but they rather hide them throughout the country so that the government is not all hiding in one spot. Big Chief, if Russia was fine, the Russian parliament, was it the Kremlin, wouldn't be arguing right now with Putin about what's going on. And Russia did not go into the gold standard. Uh, Pinball Preparedness reported that, and he has a link, if I'm not mistaken, in the video. They did not go to the gold standard, so that's not true. So they are again, they're not fine. I would have thought they were fine, but after seeing that pinball video, they're not as fine as they make it out to be. Again, guys, Russian propaganda. Don't believe everything that comes out of that country as well. It's the same thing as here. I am not going to sit here and believe for a second that we're not going to step foot in that war at all. So, with that being said, guys, don't believe all the bullshit. Don't believe the Chinese propaganda as well. China is backing, what you call it, using hypersonic toy, Yellowstone volcano, and Russia hits jet stream. MP to push the fallout. Yeah, listen, guys. Again, I don't know why they would want to set off Yellowstone. That doesn't make any sense. Setting off Yellowstone fucks half the nation, most of the nation. Doesn't make any sense. You're right. You're probably right about that. Russia using Chinese money. I don't know if they would be using Chinese money, but they're definitely using China. That's for sure. And don't believe all the Ukrainians are suffering either. Mark Olson. I guess they're not. I don't know. I don't know if all the Ukrainians are suffering. Some of the videos I'm watching, it looks like they're suffering. I know not all of them because I know some of them are still there, like living their life. I did see a weird video like that. So nukes are obsolete. Hillbilly, I wish they were obsolete, but they still. Again, why would Putin threaten to use nuclear weapons if they were obsolete? Is that a scare tactic? It could be. Russia is the king of scare tactics as well. Russian inside, inside Russia YouTube. Firefly, I'll check it out, but anything out of Russia, I don't believe. I'm sorry. Russia's just not one of those countries that, like China, I refuse to believe anything they say. Yellowstone strike, stop tech and power. Okay, maybe. Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of believing in any of those two countries. Listen, if I don't believe half the bullshit that comes out of this country, I'm gonna now look at China and Russia and going, they're speaking facts. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. Those two are the king of propaganda. Ganda. You know that China has, there's these kids on YouTube. I don't know how you look them up, but there's these kids on YouTube. They talk Chinese propaganda all the time. How great China is, how well their people being treated. It's fucking a smoke show with these people. And they get paid money for kissing China's ass. This is on YouTube. They don't speak bad about China ever. The same thing goes for Russia, guys. They have their own Russian propaganda. Here in the United States, we're the only country that talks shit about our own country and gets away with it. But you talk that shit over there in Russia or China, you're not getting away with it. March Hare, I saw that. Jason, he's from the Pinball Firefly. Then I will watch. Give me the name of that channel again. Yes, I saw those aid trucks going to help the Ukrainians. I don't know what that's about, man. I really don't. You create a problem and then you create aid, you create hope for people. It's a fucking tactic, guys. You fucking take everything away from people. You create an issue for them and then you provide them with hope. All right. So again, I don't. Commies always in bed with commies. Yeah, Doom's Rude. Doomer Rude, 1995. Yes, exactly. Yo, gold is out of control. I listen to Canadian Prepper. I'm like, man, should have fucking got it when I had the chance, but I didn't. So I'm shit out of luck. The Inside Russia channel is a regular citizen you will gain from. Jane Doe. All right, I'll take a look. We bought a couch a couple of years ago, and now my dog like just, when we first got the couch, my wife was like, he's not to get on this couch, he's not to lay on it. 5 years later, he owns his corner. Such is life. That goes out the window. Trying to keep your dog off a couch, it don't work. So I don't care. Like, if you're buying a new couch, guys, and you have a dog, and the idea is to keep that dog off the couch, that shit ain't happening. This is his corner. So we lost that corner. Food is definitely better than gold. Junk silver is better, easier to trade. Len Simmons, okay. Listen, I know nothing about gold other than like what Alaska Prepper talks about, right? I wish I would have bought it when I had the chance, but now I missed that boat. Dogs do what they want to do all the time. Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, not necessarily. Yeah, he does. He's getting older now, so he's getting crankier. Pinball told me about Corsair Inside Russia stand-up guy. All right, I'll look at this video then. Thank you for the heads up. His name is I'm sorry, guys. I missed it a couple times. What was his name again? And then I'll look it up as soon as I'm off of here. Because if I don't get his name again, I will absolutely forget by the time I end this live stream, which I'm going to end in a couple minutes anyway. Some of us prep, so gold makes sense. I guess. Spam is gold. Spam. Coruscant wines. Someone said Coruscant wines too much. All right, whatever. Try to keep your puppy from eating cats. Yeah, and he wasn't that Coruscant. Corsatin. Consatin. Am I saying that right? I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that up. But whatever. All right, I got it. I'll look them up when I'm done with this. Again, guys, like I said, this whole thing, none of it sounds right. And I mean, for the most part, most wars never sounded right when you started digging behind, or you started digging into it a little further. You looked at some of these wars, you're like, that didn't make sense why that started, right? So this one is even worse. It's just, it really doesn't make sense. There's too much bullshit. You don't know who to fucking believe. Again, I'm definitely not going to believe anything that comes out of Russia. But if this Korstein, how we say his name, guy, is on the level, I'll listen. And guys, don't get me wrong. I have listened to a lot of videos people have sent me about Russia and all the bullshit. But some of the videos were bullshit and some of the videos made sense. Either way, understanding why this war is being started is fine, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Putin is still a fucking asshole and a tyrant. And he's not going to stop at the Ukraine, right? So if he doesn't stop at the Ukraine, then all of the shit that everyone said the reason why he was attacking Ukraine goes out of the window. Because then what's the excuse for the other countries he's going to attack? So he's not going to stop at here. Being that he's meeting a lot of resistance, the name of the channel is Inside Russia. Stray Kitten. Thank you for that. That's even easier. Inside Russia. White Boy 587. Exactly. You can't trust either side, man. I don't trust either side. Because they're politicians, man. And what have I said a million times on my channel? You cannot trust politicians from any part of the world, right? And that's what it comes down to. Politicians are going to do what politicians are going to do. They're going to lie to your face and fuck you in the ass. Right? So, again, guys, other than that, yeah, we're going to go off the air now. Thank you for watching. and I will see you guys maybe Friday. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.